Okay. Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new here. My name is Allie. This is my co-host Jupiter, and welcome to the top comment where I read and react to insane internet chaos in the form of Reddit stories. So if you like this type of content, please don't forget to subscribe. It is totally free. It means a lot to me. And Jupiter also says that you need to subscribe. And if you don't, you're going to be hurting her feelings. Don't hurt my girl's feelings. Subscribe. I love you. Okay. Ugh. Hi, my baby. All right, I gotta get this done, okay? All right, happy Thursday, you guys. I hope everybody is having a fabulous week. On Tuesday, we talked about people who just have insane amounts of audacity. And today we're going to be talking about people that are just disgustingly entitled. So grab your stress ball, grab your tea, grab your snacks, grab a dog. Any one of them will work. And we're going to get right on into it.
Hi. How you doing?
The first story we're going to read today is coming from Am I the A-Hole? You want to be the judge?
Here. You want to judge? You want to grab onto it?
I don't think they like the texture of this. Let's see if Juppy will get it. You want to be the judge? They hate this. Oh, you guys are funny. All right, it says, am I the a-hole for silently changing my son's name after my brother and sister-in-law gave my nephew the same name too? I'm already going to clock this one as hell no. What type of weird people want their cousins to have the exact same name? That's just bizarre. My wife and I had our son 4 months ago. We had a name chosen early in her pregnancy. We kept that name to ourselves, but my sister-in-law, married to my brother, found out when she was still pregnant with my nephew, who's almost 7 months old. She never said how. She just told us she loved the name and congrats, and she couldn't wait to meet him. We assumed she snooped because she was not told. I even mentioned it to my brother, and he said that his wife does like to browse through people's things like it was no big deal. What? She just like goes to your house and like browses through your underwear and sock drawer? Kind of weird, but whatever. Then when my nephew was born, they announced his name and it was the same name we chose. First, middle, and last name. My brother called right after sister-in-law posted the announcement and he told me to keep quiet because his wife had a rough birth and she didn't need the drama and he knew we might not like it, but she really wanted the name. Entitled doesn't even begin to cover this. And hormones aren't an excuse. Her reason? My brother and I have matching twin-like names and sister-in-law wanted to connect our two boys by giving them the same name so they were each other's namesake. My wife and I talked it over and we decided to pick a different name, but we pretended to keep the original name until there was zero risk of sister-in-law changing my nephew's name. 6 months after a birth is harder to make a change in our state. We only started telling people the true name last week. My parents and sisters said it made sense. Friends and my in-laws understood why we did it. My brother told me I upset his wife by silently doing this shit and taking away her choice to match the boys. Oh my god, this lady is crazy. He told me it was a dick move. I told him his wife using the full name we chose was a dick move. I asked him if he considered how much tougher it would be with both boys enrolled in the same schools with the very same name. Not to mention banking, doctors, dental, all kinds of stuff. He told me plenty of people have the same name and it's not a big deal and it's harder to mix shit up nowadays and we're just trying to gatekeep names. I think he's crazy. I do too. So does my wife. She said he clearly doesn't want sister-in-law mad, but am I the a-hole for what I did? Like, are we weird for thinking this kind of stuff? I'm sorry that you have been so gaslit by this crazy witch that you think that you are the problem here. You're not the problem. Sister-in-law's the problem. Brother's the problem. They gotta go. How dare you be so entitled to steal somebody else's baby name? That just makes you look insane. Insane, delusional, crazy, jealous, narcissistic. Should the list go on, or do you guys have a pretty good picture of this? No, you're not the a-hole. No, you're not the a-hole. Not one bit. I'm sorry you didn't get to use the name that you chose, but Good for you for being a good sport and not just going along with it. This is really weird. Weird, strange behavior. And I hate it when people are saying,
you're gatekeeping a name.
they're not gatekeeping. They just didn't want to tell people. They wanted that moment to be special for themselves. Why you got to sit there and ruin it? Why do you have to steal their name? And then snooping to find it? Sorry. Your brother is a basket case and your sister-in-law is a basket case times a basket case. The top comment says, definitely not the a-hole. Your brother is outraged that you took away sister-in-law's choice to match the boys. What about the fact that she took away your choice to have an individual name? By invading your privacy nonetheless? He's fine with that, I assume? And then OP responds to this and says, he acted like it was no big deal while I'm thinking I need to keep a closer eye on her in the future. Ugh. Horrible. I'm sorry that she did this. This is really weird behavior and she kind of sounds like a stalker. Hi Joe kids, hi Joe wife, hi Joe baby names too apparently. Someone else says, yeah, lock the doors when she's over from here on out. Agreed. Someone else says, not the a-hole. Keep an eye on your brother as well, given that your brother is so invested in his wife's visit to Crazy Town that he's bought her the penthouse suite. He may be willing to snoop on her behalf. Information diets for both of them from now on. Yeah, if you don't want to cut them off, you need to keep them on a very, very, very short and tight leash. Just keep these people at arm's length at all costs. The last comment says, not the a-hole for not letting sister-in-law dictate names. Her snooping was low-key whack. Your boy deserves an identity that's uniquely his. Screw the name cloning drama. He does deserve to have an identity of his own. Imagine what that would do to a kid. That would probably screw both of their kids up. Or one of them would just start going by like a nickname. But even then, ugh, that's so bizarre. And then imagine being the teacher and like having these two cousins in the same class, because obviously they're such a similar age that like they could be in the same classes growing up. Imagine the teacher reading it twice and then potentially even skipping it during attendance because she's like, oh, it was just put on there twice. I mean, your sister-in-law, go to therapy, girl. Get some help. Okay, you clearly need it. And brother-in-law, you need to stop being such a whipped little you-know-what for your wife. This is creepy, crazy, weird territory. Reddit also said you're not the a-hole, so you know what that means. You are free to go, my dear. No charges for you today. The next story we're going to read comes from r/entitled people, and it says, my friend said I owe her half my inheritance because her family didn't have that. See what I mean when I said grab your stress ball? If you don't have your stress ball, go get it right now. We'll wait. Did you get it? Are you squeezing it? You should. Squeeze it real good, because this one is equally as bad as the title makes it seem. So my great aunt passed away and left me a decent inheritance. Nothing wild, but enough to pay off my student loans and set aside a little in savings. I told my friend, we'll call her Rachel, over lunch. She got really quiet. She then said, wow, must be nice. I bet you'll help out your friends who weren't so lucky growing up, right? I laughed and said something like, I mean, I'll probably treat my friends to dinner more often. She stared at me and said, dead serious,
no. Like, actually help. We've known each other forever. I think it would only be fair if you split it with me.
I thought she was joking. She was not. She then brought up all the times she covered my coffee in college and said, this is just the universe evening the score. Needless to say, I didn't share a dime. She blocked me on Instagram and told our mutual friends I ghosted her after I got rich. Sorry, Rachel. The only thing I'm splitting is the check with people who actually support me. With friends like these, who needs enemies? Oh my God, what a nightmare. How entitled do you have to be to say that to somebody? Maybe I'm just a rare breed, but if one of my friends was like, hey, my auntie passed away and she left me enough money to pay off my student loans, I would be stoked for you. I would literally be so happy for you. I can't imagine being like,
Give me half of the money.
what is your problem, Rachel? Do you not have brain cells? Are they not functioning? Oh God, the entitlement is so thick. I feel like I just walked through a wall of hazy entitlement to get here. And then she went off and told your friends that you ghosted her after you got rich. Oh my God, the entitlement. The top comment says, this is why you keep finances to yourself. Yeah, I mean, I'm conflicted because if this happened to me, I would definitely tell my best friends. I would absolutely tell tell my best friends. And it sounded like they were pretty close ahead of time, but you just kind of have to read the room on what it is, I guess. I don't know. I would tell my friends because I know that they would be supportive. They would be like, oh my God, that's amazing. And then I would be like, yeah, let's go out and let's celebrate. Like, let's go get a nice dinner together. Treats on me. That's how I would handle the situation personally. But I also have really amazing friends. So I don't know. I don't know why people have to share stuff like this with friends or family members. It's not their business. For every one person who will be happy for you and never dream of asking or expecting you to share, there are 10 who think you don't deserve it, shouldn't keep it all, and should definitely give them some, or think just because you stupidly shared some information, you now owe them somehow. See, my circle is really tight. I don't even know 10 people. I would never sit there and be like,
Give me half. It's only right. Remember I paid for your coffee in college?
Rachel, I'm so disappointed in you, girlfriend. You could do better, and you chose not to. This is weird behavior. Maybe not as weird as the sister-in-law stealing the names, but it's definitely up there in terms of weird, entitled, and goes under the category of you should have kept your mouth shut. But hey, at least now you know her true character and you know who she really is. That way you don't waste any more of your time and energy trying to people please for her. The next comment says, it's really crazy that some people just offer up sensitive information for no good reason. What do you guys think? Would you tell your best friends if like something like this happened to you and you were like, oh my God, I was able to pay off my student loans? Maybe I know I have really good friends, but maybe, I don't know. What do you guys think? Would you tell people? Would you not tell people? I would only tell my besties. I wouldn't go like tell somebody that I'm like just casual Instagram friends with. Like I wouldn't tell my coworkers or anything like that, but my best friends in the whole world. I mean, we also share everything together, but comment below. What would you do? The next comment says, my husband and I were discussing possibly taking the kids to Disney World, not even making the plans necessarily, but kicking the idea around. My sister-in-law heard it and somehow called a family meeting and went completely off on us, saying that we can't do that because she didn't have the money to go as well. She wasn't even taking it like she would expect to go with us, just that we flat out couldn't take a vacation because she couldn't afford to take her kids on a vacation. She felt like it would make her look bad for not being able to keep up with the Joneses. She even gets mad if a friend or family member has a car that costs more than her, a house, jewelry, anything. It just blows my mind. That's your sister-in-law, dude? Trash. Absolute entitled trash. Imagine looking at somebody and saying, you can't have that because I don't. Go work for it. Get your butt up, girlfriend, and go work for it. And if you don't want to work for it, stop bitching. Tired of this. Okay? It's people like you that make Reddit go round. The last comment says, if you have to hide information from a friend because you think they will try to take advantage of you, then that's not a friend. See, that's exactly what I'm saying. If you can't talk about finances to your friends and family without them feeling owed or jealous, then you need to find better people. There you go. I agree with that. If you are an adult, just make those judgment calls. Use your brain and make the judgment call and say, can I tell this friend that I'm going to go to Disney World? Can I tell this friend that I'm going to go to Hawaii? Can I tell this friend that I'm walking a red carpet? And if they're not going to be excited for you and like so happy for you, don't waste your energy on them. Don't waste your time and energy on people like that. I have learned my lesson like that so many times. Whatever. I don't know. Karma's a bitch, but kind of seems like jealousy has her beat. The next one we're going to read also comes from r/entitled people. And it says, entitled neighbor wants me to move my Wi-Fi router for her signal. So my neighbor knocks on my door yesterday and says her Wi-Fi signal is weak in her bedroom. I'm thinking she wants the name of my provider or something. Nope. She actually asks me to move my router closer to our shared wall so that she can get better reception from my network. I tell her it's password protected and not for public use. She says,
Well, yeah. I mean, I figured you wouldn't mind sharing since I'm only using it to stream at night. Duh.
I ask her why she doesn't get her own plan. She shrugs and says money's tight and you probably don't notice the difference anyways. Oh my God. The craziest part, when I say no, she just accuses me of being selfish and storms off. Like, what? You don't just expect free internet from your neighbor and then get mad when they say no. I'm honestly tempted to rename my Wi-Fi network Get Your Own Wi-Fi just out of spite. Has anyone else dealt with something like this? You absolutely should sit there and name it Get Your Own Wi-Fi. That's the type of petty revenge that is fantastic because then she has to sit there and look at it. She doesn't even have to get her own Wi-Fi. She can just get a booster because it sounds like she already has Wi-Fi. It just isn't strong enough to reach her bedroom. Get a booster. Move your own router, girl. What's wrong with you? One of my biggest pet peeves is when somebody plants firm boundaries of no, which by the way, I learned in therapy, no is a complete sentence. No means no. It doesn't mean maybe. It doesn't mean ask harder. It doesn't mean try again later. It literally means no. So for her to double down and stand on business like that, next level crazy. She is unhinged. And then to get mad at you too when you say no, like, did she really expect you to say yes? Like, oh my God, girl, sure, just go ahead and use my Wi-Fi. No, I don't think so. I wouldn't share my Wi-Fi with my neighbors. I just wouldn't. So you shouldn't either. And neither should you watching. Don't you share your Wi-Fi. Password protect that shit right now. You check your Wi-Fi. If it's not password protected, go password protect it. Be safe out there. We live in a crazy world. The top comment says, rename that thing to not your Wi-Fi and set the password to pay your own damn bills. I really think you should change it. A bunch of these comments are suggesting that too. Someone else says, name it free public Wi-Fi, but have it password protected. That'll teach her. I can only imagine the frustration she endures trying to connect to it. You should really be petty about this. This is the perfect time for you to be petty. And I think you'll feel better just getting a little bit of satisfaction out of it, knowing that she's sitting there frustrated and mad that she can't get on your Wi-Fi. Someone else says, you're not selfish. She's just mad that her freeload failed. Rename that thing to no free bites for you and watch her go insane. You need to be petty, babe. If you're out there watching this, please go be petty. And then please update us in the comments. Someone else says, send her a Venmo request for 70% of the Wi-Fi bill. If she pays it, send her the password. Change it at the start of the month and repeat. Or if you don't want to share, that Wi-Fi name sounds great. I would want to share with her. Can't people like hack into your bank accounts and stuff from your Wi-Fi? Maybe I don't know anything about anything and, comment below, but I'm pretty sure she can like steal your stuff. So make sure you're protected. Don't share with this woman under any circumstance. She is clearly freeloading. The last comment says, I did exactly this once. They were so pissed. I could hear the screaming and cursing through the walls when they realized they couldn't get in. The best part is that I still have no idea how they were using it in the first place. I feel like hacking has just like really become scary. I feel like we should all be changing our passwords like every couple of months now, especially with those leaks. Oh my God, those leaks are so bad. Do you guys ever get those like spam texts that are like, you have an unpaid parking ticket for $182 and you're gonna get your license revoked and go to jail and die? Those are from leaks. Those are from like data leaks with like security and stuff. So like, let's all change our passwords every couple of months, because otherwise, I don't know, you might have crazy people knocking on your door saying, your Wi-Fi is not good enough in my bedroom and I've been using it for months. Can you just scoochie a little? No! The last story we're going to read today comes from True Off My Chest, and it says, I had to kick my brother out of my house because he wouldn't stop pretending to be disabled. My brother, who's a 38-year-old man, so this is a full-grown man, you guys. My brother faked a back injury for 6 years. At first, I believed him. Everyone did. He wore a brace, walked slowly, grunted when he sat down. He applied for disability but got declined multiple times, probably because he could still play soccer with his friends and sneak in late night gym sessions. Ugh, God. Last year, after our mom passed away, I let him move in temporarily because I knew he was in too much pain to keep working. Then he installed grab bars in my bathroom and told people I was his full-time caregiver. I came home once and I found him playing VR boxing, like literally punching the air and sweating. The final straw was when I took a work call on Zoom and I heard him screaming, I can't walk, in the background. He later told my boss, who he bumped into at a store, that he had a spinal injury and that I helped him get to the toilet that day. Well, that was a lie. I never helped him do anything. I told him to pack his stuff and go. Now my family is mad at me. They say I'm heartless, but I spent 2 years watching some guy scam me and now I'm the bad guy. No, you are not the bad guy. This is called grifting. This is what Gypsy Rose does, okay? It's giving Gypsy Rose energy and we don't support her on this channel. That is disgusting. That's horrible. To fake a back injury just to have somewhere to live. Why don't you go get a job? You can get a job. You can get a job from home. You can work from home. You can do anything. Get on Rover. Go walk dogs. Get on DoorDash. Go drive delivery food. Especially if you're not actually injured. Not talking to the people who are actually injured who like physically can't get a job. I'm specifically talking to this loser. What did they say his name was? There's no name for it, but you sound like a Brian. He crossed a line significantly by malingering and grifting. That's exactly what he's doing. Those things are probably mental health. So like he should probably see a therapist instead of a chiropractor if his back's not actually broken. But good for you for kicking him out. And And it sounds like your family may not know the full extent. Hopefully you were able to get like some pictures and video evidence, because it is hard. Like if you were to go up to someone and be like, oh, they're faking their injury, I imagine most people are going to look at you like you have 3 heads. So hopefully you have some proof on this, and hopefully exposes himself or in one way or another at some point, and you're able to get your family back and live in peace. And if not, there's 8 billion people out in the world, baby. Somebody is going to want to hang out with you and be your family. Family is given, but it can also very much be chosen. And these people are choosing to be weird, be grifters. Your brother sucks. Watch him actually sustain a back injury someday, and then no one's gonna believe him. It's like, what is it? The Boy Who Cried Wolf? The top comment says, your brother crossed a line. You did the right thing by protecting yourself. You absolutely did. The next comment says, also, if her family feels so strongly about this, then they can take care of his ass. Step in line to get scammed next if they want to make OP feel guilty. Your family shouldn't make you feel guilty. They should do a little bit more investigating, and then if you're really being an a-hole, maybe if they want to make you feel guilty, if it's, I don't know, don't be mean to people. Let's just all be nice to each other. Be petty, but nice. Someone else says, no, you're not the a-hole. He's taking advantage of you and telling lies to those around you. Tell the family members who are upset at you that if you kicking him out bothers them so badly, then they can take him in. They probably don't want to take him in because they are probably in on the grift. They are probably very well aware of what he's doing. Someone else says, I had to kick my alcoholic father out of my house about 10 years ago, and I recommend you tell your family the same thing I told mine. Anyone who wants to complain is welcome to take him in and support him for the same length of time that I did, and then come back to me and tell me I'm cruel for making him leave. Not surprisingly, there were no takers. That's hard. I've definitely ran into my fair share of alcoholics before, and it is a very hard environment to live in. And sometimes tough love exists, you guys. I know it seems really harsh in the moment, but sometimes you just have to be very real with people and send them on their way, because at the end of the day, these are grown adults. These are not kids. These aren't kids. You don't need to be taking care of another grown adult. The only grown adult you need to be taking care of is yourself. The last comment says, you are, in their eyes, worse than the bad guy. You are the honest guy with boundaries. Amen to that. One of the things I've learned in therapy is that when you start setting boundaries, you notice a lot of people drop like flies out of your life. And it's very true. Nobody likes a boundary unless they know how to respect a boundary. And if they don't know how to respect a boundary, guess what? They don't need to be in your life. Who do you guys think was the most entitled person from today? I still think it was the sister-in-law, because that's just crazy. It's crazy. It's manipulative. It's stalkery. I mean, it just kind of has all of the little like sub layers of entitlement to it. But I want to hear from you. What do you think? One vote for sister-in-law stealing the baby name. That was, good Lord, she needs some serious therapy. And that's okay. Therapy is amazing. But I love you guys. I'll see you on Sunday for the mashup episode. We are going to have a bonus story at the very end. So be there or be square. But not like SpongeBob, because SpongeBob's cool. I'm talking about the square that's like basic, you know? All right. Love you. Bye.